Hello, welcome to Driven at Storytime. I'm having to move the cars around today, getting the bins out. I mean, you can't get anything more British than that, having to move the car down the garden to get bins out. And that brings me nicely into today's story. So, without further ado, let's make a start. Today's story blends in quite nicely with the Beetle. Because of the car, this was known for being I thought it was quite elegant. I think it was actually one of my favourites. However, the interior got absolutely slated by the motoring press because they said, oh, it's a bit austere, a bit bland, a bit like, where's the equipment? I mean, unlike today's cars, where you have to spec up all of your bits, at least it gave you some niceties. But no, this car gave you nothing. Issigonis was like, no, you're going to have nothing. You're going to have the driving position of a bus. You're going to have lots of space for 6 people. Pretty much 6 people can get into these. Not a big people carrier. But as for luxury equipment, no. And you sort of think, oh, someone show that man some love. Because, I mean, if he's making people suffer with their car, what's he doing with the rest of his life? Anyway, that's digressing. So, picture the scene. England, 1971. I'll give you the Morris 1800 and 2200. Oh, as I say, one of my favourites. I do think they're absolutely stunningly good looking. They really are. Lovely, lovely. Let's begin. First, some fast talking about the 2200. The fastest thing about the 2200 sits quietly under the bonnet. It's the first big car to boast a powerful 6-cylinder 2227cc overhead camshaft transverse engine. Now that was quite something. 6-cylinder going that way, not that way. So it's quite a compact little engine, really, with a thermostatically controlled, electronically operated fan, which helps keep noise right down to a minimum. And it did, because if you think about cars that had the fan mounted at the front and you rev it, you get a lot of turbine noise from the fan. So yeah, just thought I'd let you know that. 8.5 seconds sees you smoothly to 50 miles per hour from a standing start. And you can cruise smoothly all day at 70 miles per hour without any stress to the car or the driver, because the driver has nothing to distract him because there's no equipment. My words, not theirs. Those 6 cylinders keep petrol costs down too, allegedly. Again, my words, not theirs. On tricky corners, hydroelastic suspension keeps you anchored to the tarmac without the usual big car pitch and roll. A new, more positive rod operation to the gearbox keeps you changing sweetly. I don't know if these came with cables. I know the Maxi did, and that was like well ahead of its time. BL really were ahead of their time, because now a lot of cars have got cables, but back then, cable operated on the Maxi went a bit wrong, a bit stretchy, and people didn't like it, so they went back to rods. While the proven front-wheel drive and servo-assisted brakes keep you safely in control, you can slip in and out of parking spaces that would be given a wide berth by the average big car. No, I don't know why, but it just says you can. And you can put the 2200 in the average garage. The 2200, a big car with a big car performance, but it handles with the ease of a small one. Oh my God, I will post pictures up, don't you worry. Oh my God, that interior, the colour is like baby shit colour, but it's quite nice. And actually it does go with the car that's on the front cover. That's a lovely colour combination. Anyway, now a word of comfort. Probably the first thing you'll notice when you step into the 2200 is the incredible amount of space. We've mounted the engine sideways, I already told you that, so the space we've saved under the bonnet you gain inside. The contoured seats are big, wide and comfortable. And there's plenty of legroom to manoeuvre. Ooh, I don't know what you're manoeuvring for, but this is England, excuse me, you keep that behind closed doors and shut curtains. What's more, you don't have to carry luggage at the expense of passengers. Shame. My words, not theirs. We've given you the luxury of a yawning 17 cubic foot boot, plus pockets on the doors, glove pocket and a big shelf behind the back seat. Other luxuries include deep pile carpet all round and a new style seat trim. The fascia has a touch of class about it too. But more important, you can get to the controls without getting out of control. Oh, they're making jokes. There's also a new floor-mounted handbrake conveniently positioned between the front seats. All in all, in the 2200, you're very comfortably off. Oh my God, honestly, that dashboard. Do you know what? I think this one's got more razzmatazz. It's got a little bit more chrome. This has got wood panelling throughout. That's about the size of it. Words are one thing. Action is another. Now we've told you about the 2200, why not take it out for a test drive? Your local dealer will be only too pleased to arrange it. He will, honestly. He will be so pleased that you've come in to test drive a 2200. My word's not theirs. And when you bring it back, we'd like to know how you think the 2200 sizes up. Right, the new Morris 1800. A lovely burgundy colour. You can always tell the difference between a 2200 and an 1800 because there was a different pattern on the grille, and the 2200 had black in its light bezels, as the 1800 had chrome. Oh, there's a child here pointing to upholstery. That's lovely. Anyway, inside the 1800. Just sit back and enjoy it. Do you know, I'm going to stop here slightly. I would say, do you know what? The 1800 has got such a nicer dashboard than the 2200. I think it's much nicer. Anyway, you can even have a good stretch if you like. There's plenty of room in the 1800. The seats are big and comfortable. They're separate in the front, while in the back there's a beautiful bench seat. And your armrests in both front and back for extra comfort all round. We fitted deep pile carpet on the floor, and there's tons of legroom for everyone. Do the can-can. I would say, do you know, BL were pretty good at this, weren't they? You know, room for five with the Allegro. And yet, that wasn't as big as an 1800 or a 2200. Without having to compete with cricket bags and cardboard boxes, you can leave all that in the enormous 17 cubic foot boot. We've positioned the instruments so that you can see at a glance, and the controls are within easy reach, because there's so few of them. My word's not theirs. And when children are around, unfortunately, the safety catches on the rear doors enable you to give full attention to driving. Just let them fall out. Performance. It'll make you sit up. Their lurks in the 1800 a proven four-cylinder transverse engine with front-wheel drive. An engine that has gained a reputation not only for reliability, but for sheer power, and that's why we've had to make the 2200. And in the 1800, sorry, that's my words, not theirs. And in the 1800, that power is more than matched by servo-assisted brakes. It has hydroelastic suspension as well, which means you'll cling to the road like a limpet. Oh bless, we don't get limpets anymore, do we? You'll find you can take sharp bends as easily as you can long stretches, especially as all forward gears are synchromesh. No idea what the hell that bloody means. Well, I know what it means, but how that all blends in together, you sort of think it's just a bloody word salad. Perhaps you'd like to try out the 1800. Again, ask at your local showroom. They'll be happy to arrange a test drive. We think you'll enjoy the performance. And there we go. And on the back, we've got the usual spiel of everything that goes on, and we've got, some performance figures for those that want to know. So the 1800 will produce 86.5 brake horsepower at 5,400 RPM, while the 2200 develops a whopping, that was quite good actually for the time, 110 brake horsepower at 5,250 RPM. And then we go through, we've got gearboxes and clutches and steering and instrumentation and, yeah, nothing else. Oh, optional extras. Here we go. Yeah, 1800 or 2200 because you want to jazz it up a bit. Your optional extras are as follows. Reclining front seats, electrically heated rear window, power assisted steering, not on the 1800 when fitted with an alternator. Automatic transmission, alternator 1800 when not fitted with power steering. Roast style wheels, 2200 only. And then we've also, it's also available for export, so any of those living abroad, if you want to buy one, we can. And we can give you lots of things. Oh, this is quite amusing. Export availability, supplied to the specification detailed above, less seat belts. With right or left hand drive steering at no extra charge. Optional at extra cost, here we go, forced fresh air unit, laminated windscreen, reclining front seats, electrically heated rear window, automatic transmission, power assisted steering, not 1800 when fitted with an alternator, 4.19 to 1 final drive ratio, 1800 only, roast style wheels, 2200 only, alternator, 1800 when not fitted with power steering, a radio, sump guard, 1800 only. So there we go. That's really bizarre. So, you know, I suppose we should count ourselves lucky, shouldn't we, in the UK, that we got forced air, fresh air ventilation system, because, you know, if you want to export it, you've got to pay extra for that. Anyway, speaking of fresh air, I've had enough of it today because it's bloody cold and it's a bit... and I need to put all this back now because I've got the bins out. Anyway, well, there you go. Take care. See you soon. Itchy here. Oh, hair and ears. Hello, welcome to Driven It. No, it's not. It's Driven It Storytime. Oh, crocuses are coming up in my pots. The size of it. Words are one thing. Oh, it's like F.R. David. Words don't come easy. Anyway, drive. Your local dealer will be only too pleased to fleece you. Sorry, arrange it. And when you bring it back, we'd like to know what you think. The 2200 size up. No, that's bullshit. I've said that wrong. I've said the wrong fucking word. GoPro, stop recording.